Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I am Agni James, and tonight I'll be streaming a guided meditation because that's always the primary focus of this channel. We do guided meditations here. I'm also a chess instructor, IRL, so if you're into chess, you're in the right place. I do some chess lessons and play some games and stuff like that. And also I have a master's in analytic philosophy, so we do some philosophy streams on here as well. So I hope everyone is doing all right. How's everyone doing on this glorious Monday? Is everyone rocking? Is everyone thrilled to be alive? Has everyone achieved all their deepest dreams and desires? I really hope so. I really hope that's the case. It would be a shame if it wasn't, right? It would be a shame if it wasn't. Lumpy Dragon Potato, good to see you, friend. Big shout out to you, man. How you been? It's been a while, man. It's been a minute. What's going on with you these days, dude? You've achieved everything that you've wanted out of life. I hope that is the case, man. Lumpy streams a lot of Minecraft. I don't know what else you've been streaming these days, yeah, he's a good dude. He's a smart dude. He hangs out at my buddy Aristotle's chat a lot, and we have some good discussions over there. You said you would tell me, but at this point you'd just be bragging. All right, fair enough. I like that. Yeah, you're more, you want to stay more on the humble side of things. I get that. Yeah, things have been going all right overall. You know how it is with life. There's you have your amazing, wonderful things, and then you have all the negative things, right, that to kind of balance it out, right? So that's kind of what's been going on in my world. I haven't been streaming as much lately. I've cut back the streaming, but that's going to fluctuate over time. There's going to be days where I stream a lot, and there's going to be months that I stream a lot, and there's going to be months that I don't stream a lot. But tonight it's going to be simple. We are going to be doing just some real chilled guided meditations tonight. But yeah, anyways, Lumpy, have you streamed much lately? What's been going on with you these days? I'm always interested about talking to fellow streamers, because streamers have a different take on Twitch, right? You know, if you're a streamer, then you kind of see things from both perspectives, right? You say I'm not much streaming either. Oh, really? Real life is keeping you busy. Yeah, exactly. And that's how it goes, right? If you're busy doing something with like work or something with a relationship or whatever it is you're doing, you know, then absolutely you're not gonna have time for streaming, right? Unless streaming is your primary gig, right? Unless you're like XQC or one of the big time streamers, right? And you just make a living off doing this. That would be a pretty cool gig, right? That would be pretty cool, Lumpy, if you could just log on and be like, all right, I just made like $50,000. I'm gonna, that was a tough day's work, right? There's some streamers that are like that. They're like, all right, I just made thousands of dollars for this today's stream, and I'm gonna go play some games, not streaming, right? And no, actually, streaming is a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize how much work it can be to stream. I adjusted my setup recently. I have these lights. I also can go. We can go red light. We got the red lights. We got the greens, and we got the blues. Yeah, look at that. So, you mix it up, you change it up, right? I feel that the blue is very, very good for meditation, right? It's a very chilled state. And I feel like it's a lot more chilled than the red, right? If I did a meditation like this, I feel like it would be kind of weird. It'd be, especially with like the screen doing what it's doing. Let's get it a little more. There we go. But yeah, anyways, maybe I should do all my streams like this now in the red light. How Lumpy, you say the usefulness of streaming has shifted over the years, and now it's a good framework to continue your exactly, right? Yeah, I mean, you have something you love, Minecraft, right? There you go, right? And if you're gonna be working on it, then it's like might as well multitask, and do a little streaming and do some Minecraft, and that's kind of a cool gig, right? It's kind of interesting. It's kind of the same with me, right? I want to meditate. I want to meditate more. And when I meditate, I can run a guided meditation and meditate with other people, and then you kill two birds with one stone that way, right? Lumpy, you say the full-time streamers who struggle to go over 1,000 viewers have it tough. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, if you're devoting like your whole existence to streaming, and you don't have 1,000 viewers, it's gonna be rough to make it, right? It's gonna be rough to make it. And some of those girls and guys make it. Some of them don't, right? But yeah, really need like you need thousands of average views to make it well in the Twitch world. Not to mention they take their cut. A lot of streamers recently have switched over to Kick. I don't know if you're familiar with Kick, Lumpy, but it's another streaming. It's an alternate streaming platform. And I know a lot of chess streamers have switched over there because Kick only takes 5% of your subscription profits, right? Twitch, if you're an affiliate, takes 50. If you're a partner, you can negotiate a little bit, but the most you can get is 70%. I mean, yet Kick gives 95%, so it's kind of a cool thing. And there's no commercials too, which is also awesome. No ads, right? But yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on in the chess world. They're trying to give it to Kick, or give it to Twitch a little bit, because Twitch has not been there for the streamers. That's like at least what I've been hearing. Okay, well, anyways, we are about ready to get started with the meditation. I think it's about time. I think it's about time we do this. So you're going to want to get in a comfortable seated position. You're going to want to be very comfortable. I highly recommend comfort. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes and take a few slow, deep breaths on your own. I have an Amitabha Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that rings every 2 seconds. And you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So take a few more slow and deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. Watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds float together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds float through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being and exist for a while in conscious awareness before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. keep your attention on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds flowing through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. And return your focus to your breathing. Your essence is composed of love. As love, you flow eternally from the source of all creation. Your purpose here on earth is to share your love with those around you. Helping others to remember their own internal love. And they will share their love on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is glowing radiantly as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your evolution. Keep your awareness on your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love emanating from this location. And the warmth which surrounds your love. Allow yourself to experience the perfect peace residing here. And the joy which accompanies it. In this place, you reside in a state of perfect monism. Separation of any kind is impossible here. Opposites and polarities cannot enter this place. For this place was created eternally to be one. and what is eternally one can never be two. Nor can it contain parts or divisions of any kind. Delve deeper into this place of perfect wholeness. Remembering this location was given to you for eternity. Knowing that fear of any kind is not welcome here. For in truth, only love exists. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eyesight. Keep your awareness on your breathing. When thoughts of any kind enter your mind, release them and return to your breath. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of consciousness. Go all the way down to your center point. To the place inside you where your essence flows the strongest. To the nexus of the source of creation. Focus your attention on your center point. Allowing this illusory spatio-temporal framework to disappear. Delving deeper into your center. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you remember your true identity. At your center, you remember how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you recall your divine purpose. To help others remember their true identity. Focusing deep on your center point. allowing love to wash over all ego. Being pure love, you flow eternally from the source of all love. And by remembering this, you reclaim your inheritance. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is not worthy of you. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all fear and worry from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to this corporeal existence, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me. I am honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you're able to take the peace of this meditation with you into the world and share that love and kindness with all those whom you encounter. And I hope you got something out of this meditation. Whether it's a little more joy and laughter, whether it's a little more peace and relaxation, or whether you feel a little more centered and grounded. Regardless, I hope you had a good experience. Namaste. All right, that was a 30-minute meditation, which is great. We are getting back on track. We're getting back on track with our meditation times. This is what happens when you don't stream as much. You get a little rusty. You got to get the timing back. All right, there was a lot going on in chat. There was definitely a lot going on in chat. Now I get to respond. I'm only allowed to respond energetically during the meditation. I can't respond to everything else here. All right, what do we got going here? We have a lot. We got a lot going on here. Retheus, you have 0 chill right now. Well, that was at the beginning of the meditation. I hope you have more chill right now. Lumpy, you're lending an ear. Retheus, you get worked up, man. You suppress it all day at work, and then you have no place to put it out. Yeah, finding an outlet is crucial, man. Finding an outlet is so crucial to our emotional, mental well-being and physical well-being, right? If you don't have an outlet, if you just bottle it up inside of you, it usually doesn't end well. You either just kind of explode on either yourself or someone else, or you suppress it. And, it's just, you kind of just, keep it down there, buried within, and it creates all sorts of internal conflict. And you don't want that. You don't want that. You're too good of a dude to have to deal with that, man. Reethes, you say divisions are required to exist, at least short-term divisions. Well, that depends on how you define existence, right? If you are someone like me who adopts metaphysics such that the only thing that exists is pure oneness, I'm all in on monism, pure oneness, then there are no divisions, and that is the only form of existence that ever existed and that ever will and could ever possibly exist. If your metaphysics holds that there is a plurality of things, right? That there's many things and lots of divisions, then then divisions are required, right? But within this corporeal realm, right? There's plenty of perceived divisions, and I don't use the word perceived haphazardly. I use that as a very important concept, right? I don't, because in my metaphysics, none of this is real except the people that we encounter. We're all pure love. We're all pure oneness, and we're seeing this illusory state. That's my metaphysics. But believe what you want. We're free to believe what we want, which is cool. Let's see, where else are we at? Hey, K Rob is here. How's it going, K Rob? How are you doing? I hope I talked with you earlier. I hope you're doing well today. Your phone was on charger. That's no excuse. If your phone is on the charger, that's no excuse. You got to be ready to go. Even though I don't have a set streaming schedule, you always have to be ready, waiting for this Agni James meditation, because this is the highlight of everyone's year. Trust me. Retheus, you are not ready to participate in the stream. You hope you didn't hurt it too much. You didn't hurt it at all. You didn't hurt it at all, dude. I love when you come in, man. You're a valued member of the community. And this is a public place, right? I'm one thing that I'm all about is open, honest communication. I love open, honest communication. So, you come in here, if you got something to say it. My deal as a streamer is I try to be as open and honest with every one of you out there, and then I hope that kind of inspires a community of open, honest communication, because that's where most of the problems of this world lie, and that the fact that people are not they're not truthful, or they're not 100% truthful with one another, right? And then there's a whole nother question of, should we always be truthful, right? And then we go down the philosophy spectrum, of when is it morally right to lie, right? And things like that. We can go into Kant's deontological perspective, or we could go into a utilitarian perspective. Hey, it's okay to lie if the Nazis are knocking on your door and you're hiding a Jewish family in your basement, right? It's okay to tell them that they're not there, right? As opposed to, nope, one should never lie, right? Yeah, right. Okay, but anyways, let's see. Many people are shining beacons of stress radiating all around the lump. You said, for example, you were really stressed at work, but you realized it was emanating from a single person. Yeah, one person's energy. If one person's energy is off, it can really mess everything up, right? That's why you have to kind of be grounded and try to bring them back into a state of love and joy, right? Noger's here. Big shout out for Noger, man. How you doing? Noger is my philosophy friend from New York City. He's from New York City. He's a good dude. He definitely check him out. Drop him a follow. He does something that no one else really does. He started it. He just comes on and reads full-length philosophical journal articles. Pretty badass. He's read 400 and something of them. It's pretty amazing what he does, and he's bringing philosophy to the masses. There's a lot of people in this world that have never had much exposure to Western philosophy, and there's a lot of inherent value in Western philosophy. Not necessarily in coming up with any definitive answers to your questions or to your problems, right? But in the sense that you're able to think more critically and analyze things more critically, right? And that type of critical self-reflection and critical thinking about deep concepts is super important, and you can use it in all areas, all facets of your existence. So Noger's doing something super awesome here. Thanks, man. It's good. It's always good to see you, dude. You say everyone is welcome here. Just try to breathe slow. Yeah, it's tough to breathe slow, right? But it's funny enough though. It's so simple though. If you can just slow down your breath, everything just kind of naturally gets better and and it gets in better alignment. Noger, you say we get better questions. Yeah, right. We get more refined, right? Because our questions become more refined, right? And we get to really hone in on what we're trying to communicate. Unless we're a continental philosopher from the 1800s, or whatever, like the old obfuscation charged philosophers that were basically being a little vague, a little too vague for my taste. But yeah, no, typically that's what we do in philosophy. We try to ask better questions. We learn more so we can ask more refined questions. And then it's kind of like chess. You see the different variations. It's like, oh, someone proposed a certain metaphysics, and then here are the objections to his metaphysics, right? And then here are the rebuttals of those objections, right? And then you see all the different lines going, and you get to think more about the deeper things in life, the things that give us purpose, right? And that's kind of what philosophy is. DCI Banks is here. Hello, friend. Been a while, man. Good to see you. And we got the dude. I can never pronounce your name. Dalitophalis. It's a great name. But I can never pronounce it right. And I never will, probably. That's just how it goes here sometimes. All right, let's get back to a little chat. Lumpy, you said, no worries. You meditate vicariously. You're a strong believer in talking it out. Well, if you talk out whatever issues are going on within, whatever internal conflict is there, and yeah, you can a lot of times you can come to realizations and conflict resolution, right? You can start getting to the bottom of things, right? And sometimes we like to put we like to project our own baggage on others. I think that's like one of the most interesting things about being a human being with an ego, right? We try to, if we have something, we have our own internal conflict going on inside of us. A lot of times we project it onto the outside world. It's like, oh, that other person is doing this, or that other person is doing Y, that other person is doing Z, right? And but no, it's just our perceptions can even distort our realities of things, and distort like what the actual truth of the situation is and what's occurring around us. It's kind of neat. Anyways, Lumpy, you say you were once in an art stream where this Buddhist anthropologist, PhD, tattoo artist was doing a 3-minute meditation, and she asked, "Concentrate on to how you feel." To which you replied, "Horny," in chat. And chat was not meditating anymore. But you know what? That's a very honest response, right? You can't fault someone for being honest, right? I think that's a super important point, right? Even if it's not like socially acceptable in a certain sense, right? It's still like you gotta love honesty, right? You gotta love honesty. It's like when a little kid says something that's maybe cutting, like rather cutting, but like it's an honest statement. So you're not going to get mad at the kid, right? Because you're like, oh, that's pretty cool that they were open and honest about that. Let's see. Delitophalis, you say, as a perfect whole person, all your problems are caused by the imperfect world around you. Hey, you know what? There we go, man. There we go. If we tap into that perfect oneness, and by the way, everyone should check out Delitophalis, and let me give you another shout out. And drop him a follow. He's just a cool dude. I don't know what it is about you, man. You just have a good vibe, dude. You really do. Yeah, check him out. Drop him a follow. And by the way, something kind of cool. I mean, streamers make a big deal out of it, but I'm like 5 follows away from 500 followers, right? So I guess like what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to make a big deal out of it and say like, oh my God, I'm gonna have 500 followers. We got to have a big celebration. I don't really want to do that, so I probably won't. But like it's like a big deal to everyone, so like maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Let's see. K-Rob, you say Jackson has been taking his clothes off and pulling it out at school. Your son has been doing that? That's intense. I mean, like I do that, but usually I don't do that in school. I just kind of do that in other public areas. That's like one of my things. I like to just do that in public areas. But yeah, when you do that, it's kind of interesting. You get a lot of attention. Maybe he's an attention seeker. If only we could live so carefree. You envy him sometimes. He's 5 and non-verbal autistic. Yeah, right? Yeah, he's just like, you know what? I'm going to just take off all my clothes. right now. Why not, right? Why not? That's like an interesting move, right? I do shirtless streams sometimes, so I can kind of relate, but it's about it. Lumpy, you say, in that channel we were talking about life, death, wieners, and boobas. Anything went. That's perfect. Yeah, and that's kind of how it is in Aristotle's chat, right? That's one of the reasons why I respect Aristotle so much, because he's just willing to talk about anything. He's not like, oh, we must focus on X, we must focus on Y. I have this strong agenda. Now he's really good at relating to the chat, bringing up interesting things, and going with it, and talking about whatever, right? Because at the end of the day, we don't want to be too specialized, in our thinking, right? I've gone that route before, where it's like, okay, I'm going to know a lot about yoga, a lot about meditation, a lot about qigong, a lot about chess, a lot about philosophy, right? I'm going to know a lot about science, and then I'm going to know nothing about anything else, right? Except maybe the Lakers and LeBron James, right? No, I mean, there have been times in my life where I've been very specialized in my knowledge, and what you gain in depth, you kind of lose in breadth, which is kind of weird. But I guess it makes perfect sense. So maybe it's not weird at all. Okay, Rob, you say yeah, he's a huge attention seeker. Yeah, absolutely, right? I mean, he wants attention. You know what? I mean, that they say that's one of the most fundamental things, right? With a newborn, right? It's more important to give them attention than it is to feed them, right? I remember hearing something out there, maybe little kids, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, they want attention is more crucial to their development than actual physical nourishment. How fucked up is that to think about, right? Dalitophalis, you want to know a lot about how to make money without exploiting others. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool, man. That's cool. It's I think you can, it can definitely be done. It can definitely be done. You just gotta be a good artist. Artists tend to be pretty good at that a lot of times, and they don't really at least a lot of the artists I know, they don't exploit others a ton, right? But there's other ways to do it. There's plenty of other ways to do it. But yeah, then just go all in on researching that. Lumpy, you say you must scoot to bed. See ya. Hey, well, it was great. It was great seeing you, brother. It was great. It was great that you popped in. I always appreciate you, man. And have a good night's sleep. And I hope you have sweet, peaceful dreams. I hope you get everything you want manifested in your dreams, right? Yeah. So that's kind of how it goes. So I've been doing these shorter streams lately. And that's just kind of what I'm doing lately, and I dig it. I dig these shorter streams. I just pop in. Whenever I feel inspired to, stream a guided meditation, and then just pop out of existence. It's kind of like an interesting fate, right? It's like, okay, he's not here now. He's just here. He's bringing peace and joy to the world. At least to the people that come in here, and then he's just gone. So it's like you got to do what you got to do with my guided meditations. All right. So, anyways, thank you so much for the follow. That's too hot for you. Much appreciated. You say you think looking at how kids work, it's recognizing their capacity to communicate their feelings verbally. Kids tend to express themselves through actions, which makes sense when looking at their space around them. Yeah, absolutely. Verbal communication is super, super important. Super important for that. By the way, do you work with kids, or do you have kids of your own? Typically, people who talk about kids either have kids of their own or work with kids in some context. I used to teach special education. I used to do that, and I learned a lot about children when I was doing that. Got burned out after 3.5 years because we had the kids that were kicked out of all the other special needs schools. We had the most difficult cases, the ones that were going to basically attack you and attack themselves constantly. And it was like a war zone in there. Oh, yeah, you worked with kids with autism, built autism centers. Yeah. Hey, well, there were a lot of autistic students in the school that I worked at. And K-Rob worked there too, and she has an autistic son. Yeah, it was crazy. We had the whole spectrum. We had some very low functioning kids that were nonverbal and couldn't do much. Some of them would just kind of rock back and forth. Stuff like that. And then we had some that were very high functioning, pretty high functioning, but might just try to attack you at any given moment. Other than that, right? So it was always an interesting experience. But you had to be on guard because you never knew when what trigger was gonna make someone react, right? You got to be careful. You got to be careful in that environment. K-Rob, you say he's also in a new environment and trying to figure him out and how they will react and what he can get away with. Oh, absolutely. He's probably doing boundary testing right now, right? He's like, hey, I'm in this new place. I'm going to start pushing boundaries and see what works and what doesn't. And with him being nonverbal, he's probably got to push boundaries a little bit more to get the things that he wants, right? Because he can't communicate it very well, right? And kind of like going with what you said. That's too hot for you. Their capacity to communicate their feelings verbally, right? And then kids tend to express themselves through actions, which makes sense when looking at their space around them. Yeah, they're especially young children, right? They're a lot more action oriented, right? K-Rob's kid is like super athletic and super like action oriented. He's just constantly moving around. All right, so let's see what we are going to do. We are going to raid someone because, like I said earlier, I just like popping in for a nice meditation, bringing a little peace and joy and love to the world, and then popping out of existence. That's where I'm currently at. Well, I'll see if did that do what I wanted to do? No, it didn't do what I wanted to do. So give me 1 second. Let's get this actually lined up how I want it to be. Anyways, thank you all so much for being here. We're still gonna have to find someone to raid, but it's always nice to share the love, spread the love around. Here we go. Okay, and we'll do this. Let's see who's out there in the Twitch universe who we're gonna raid. If you're a subscriber, copy and paste. Otherwise, we will just send some love. Okay, who are we going to raid? Ooh, we got a lot of options today. A lot of options. All right. Who am I going to raid? Oh, all right. We're going to raid Spirit Music. I like supporting musicians, and Spirit's pretty cool. He's a good dude. I just like supporting the arts whenever I can. So he does have a text limit, though, I think, so you got to like copy and paste this if you want. Okay, Rob, you said you enjoyed a few minutes of meditation and some good feedback. Everyone have a good night. Yeah, everyone have a great night. I hope you all do well. And Nogre, it was awesome that you popped in, man. We're gonna have to catch up. I haven't been streaming lately. I haven't been on Twitch a ton lately. I've been doing a lot of other things, but that's what we do in life sometimes, right? I was talking with Lumpy about that earlier. He hasn't streamed as much because he's been busy, right? So, but yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much. I hope you are able to share some love and light with those around you. And that's about it. At the end of the day, you want to just be a kind human being to the people you come into contact with. It's not the most difficult thing. Sometimes it seems like a monumental task, but it's pretty simple, all right, at the end of the day. So, namaste.